Invited to family events after 8 years of being excluded? Would you go? So and I have been together for 8 years and we have lived together for 7. We live a few states over from his parents. Jane Mill is a classic emotionally immature boy mom. She's controlling, possessive over her sons, and self-centered. Her children and her husband are afraid of upsetting her because she weaponizes her emotions and guilt trips them when she doesn't get what she wants. She has never liked me even though I have always been polite to her. She's never even really tried to get to know me. She mostly pretends I don't exist. Throughout the years So and I have been together, I have been invited to the holidays once, and I have never been invited to family vacations or any other family events. When I went to Jane Mill's house for the one holiday I was invited to a couple of years ago, it was hell. It started with love bombing and her being nicer to me than she's ever been and dissolved into yelling, verbal harassment, and emotional manipulation by the end of the trip. Since then, there have been multiple holidays and family occasions and I have been excluded from all of them. Whenever I do see her, which is maybe once a year, she says something horrible to me. It feels like walking on eggshells every time she's around and it leaves my so and I so emotionally drained. Until recently, I have been the only so of the siblings, but one of my so's brothers started dating someone over a year ago. Jane Mill was very unhappy with this at first and refused to even talk about her. They have not met. Then I think she realized she wasn't going to manipulate Bill to break up with his girlfriend, so she switched tactics and decided to invite me and Bill's girlfriend to all upcoming holidays and family functions. I find it offensive that I have never been worthy of inviting for all these years, but now that her oldest child is dating someone, I am included. I also don't feel like this erases all the years of horrible treatment and just flat out ignoring my existence. Is it bad that I don't want to subject myself to spending the holidays with her? I almost feel bad for not giving her another chance, but she's had countless chances over many, many years, and she has not lifted a finger to get to know me or be nice to me. I also believe based on past experience that she cannot really change and she is most likely doing this to try to manipulate her children into spending more time with her. What would you do or what have you done if you've been in a similar situation? Also, I know I haven't so problem. He has severe trauma from growing up around this woman and it is a long work in progress in therapy. He's very open and communicative with me and he is 100% on my side. He loves his dad and his parents are still married, so that complicates matters. If he wants to see his dad, he has to go on these trips. His dad is very much under Jane Mill's thumb and refuses to visit us because it upsets her. Any advice of that situation would be greatly appreciated. So it's complicated and we're working on it, but I am in it for the long haul. He's supportive of me not going on these trips and does not want me to spend time with his mom if I don't want to. Comment. Listen, my Mill is very difficult and we don't get along well. But my husband doesn't go anywhere without me, he's been invited out just him and his mom and siblings and he didn't go. We go together to family holidays and establish ahead of time how long we're going to stay, when we're going to arrive, and sometimes we leave earlier or stay later and check in with each other via text. He enjoys time with his siblings and so do I. It's his mom that pesters us eventually about our daughter staying over or how we don't visit enough even though she never visits us. You both need to be a team. We've given in to see his siblings because Sundays are the only time everyone is free and it's habit to meet at their mom's house. But when certain subjects come up we change them or give evasive answers. But really, your husband needs to have your back when his mom mouths off to you. Mine always has, not the next day, not next month, but immediately. Only go if you want her to be more involved with your life. If you like having distance from her, don't go. Keep things status quo, especially if she can't behave. Your relationship with FSIL does not depend on your Mill. You can meet with her and BIL whenever you want. In fact, why not invite them both to spend a weekend with you? That sounds like a lot more fun than hanging out with Mill while she tries to gatekeep your relationship with each other. I'm afraid the GF will get preferential treatment because Mill is such a leech with AB. Not your job to police that, you can develop a relationship with her outside your in-laws' reach. Based on what you've said here, your hubs should maybe see his folks for a few hours or a quick overnight 1 to 2 times a year without you and your kids, and otherwise spend every vacation and holiday with his primary family, which is you and your kids. Every narcissist has an enabler and your Phil is that for your Mill. I wouldn't go for the holidays. She doesn't get to pick you up and drop you as she pleases. Right now she thinks that she controls things because she doesn't invite you, this you don't attend. By continuing not to attend, she'll know you can't be bothered to be in her presence and she was never in control. Your so is part of the problem. You live states away and he's so afraid of his mommy that he cowardly travels without you for holidays. If you're going to be united, then he needs to make a choice of where he wants to be, instead of who he wants to appease. Info. You and your so have been together for 8 years, so my question is, what holidays do you guys do, just you two? If he's stuck in this rut of going home every holiday and you're by yourself at home versus you two having a healthy balance of seeing each other's families plus you two starting your own traditions makes a big difference in the advice you're going to get. It is promising that he has your back though. LOL. She's not okay with splitting holidays but is okay with being horrible to you. She clearly has never acknowledged or apologized for her behavior, so obviously don't go. Your so may be traumatized, but ask him how he would like to spend his holiday. Maybe travel somewhere like Hawaii or Puerto Rico, take a cruise, a small bed and breakfast. Basically somewhere alone, the two of you, and the other holiday with your family. If he wants a relationship with family outside of his mother, he can start building one. My plan involves you not splitting holidays, because you aren't seeing her at all. Maybe he can visit alone during a less family-oriented time where you aren't feeling abandoned. She still thinks she's in charge. She gets to split you two up for the holidays and make her son feel like a child, win-win. Maybe her younger kid getting a so has made her realize that time is marching on and she's cutting off her nose to spite her face. After nearly a decade together, thoughts of marriage and children, or not, are a normal part of life, and she's realizing that keeping you away is not a winning strategy. No you means no so, and losing control of potential lows holiday traditions. If you guys are thinking about kids in the future, start thinking about what traditions are important to you and what her involvement would look like. How close are each set of parents, what part of the holidays are willing to share with each set and what parts are you not willing to share, etc. Even if this stuff is way off in the future for you, it's important to think about it now so you can start discussing it with your partner. The discussions you have now can save you arguments in the future. Next story 2. I'm a new mommy to be and Mill is being an absolute pain. Here's just a few things that are bothering me. DH and I, both mid-20s, found out that I was pregnant very early on. We told Mill, my mom, and a select few of others. I am now almost into my second trimester and everyone knows, but not because DH or I have announced we are expecting. I was hoping to create a beautiful announcement after we found out the gender, but because Mill has told everyone she comes into contact with, after I specifically asked her not to, and we also live in a small town, so when I say everyone knows, take it literally. This may be just a personal ick, or maybe I'm just not used to this since this is my first child, but I cannot stand when Mill says things along the lines of "How's my baby doing today? I can't wait to find out what my baby is going to be. I love my little baby," etc. when talking about the baby that I am creating inside me. Since becoming pregnant I have been absolutely miserable, being that I have been sick every single day, nausea and vomiting, diagnosed with HG, my anxiety and depression have increased, and I am having the hardest time with exhaustion. Again, keep in mind that this is my first pregnancy, so all of these intense feelings are new to me. Fingers crossed the second trimester will be better. Since this is my first time being pregnant, I feel like I just need more time to adjust because my mind and body seem to be freaking out. I've tried talking to Mill about it because she seemed so supportive in the beginning, but now she keeps saying things like, "I had wonderful pregnancies, so I'm not sure what your problem is. Pregnancy is supposed to be beautiful. I don't know why you keep saying you're miserable." I didn't realize we were the same person, but it's almost like she's trying to shame me for whatever reason, definitely invalidating my feelings completely. I'm to the point I don't want to keep her updated and would honestly love to go and see, because I'm just over it. She's treating me like I'm just an incubator for her baby, and I am so scared she's going to try to mother my child and undermine my parenting completely. Am I overreacting? Am I the issue for being so bent out of shape about this? A part of me feels guilty because it is her first grandchild, but another part of me is wanting to really freak out on her because this will be my first child. Don't know exactly what to say to DH about this since she's his mom and we were raised differently. I have talked to him a few times, but he tells me to ignore her and that she's just excited because it's his baby too, but my mom is not being like this whatsoever. My mom is being completely understanding and supportive of me and has not once invalidated my feelings, whereas his mom has invalidated my feelings repeatedly and is constantly making me feel like I'm just an incubator and no longer a person. I know his mom is not my mom, so things are different, but it would be nice to have support for myself all the way around. I just don't know how to handle this gracefully because I am a people pleaser, but I can only be pushed so far before I snap. I know that now since I'm becoming a mom I really need to get out of my people-pleasing habit and stop keeping the peace while sacrificing my own, but I seriously feel another world war coming soon because one said, one don't know how to handle this gracefully. I will take any advice I can get, please. Comment. Gray rocking is your friend. DH needs to be made to understand that ignore her for you means absolutely no direct communication, everything through him. Further, she's just excited because it's his baby too is causing you all sorts of issues. He is your spouse, not hers. He needs to be the shield between the two of you so you can have a more comfortable pregnancy and delivery. This will take time, but keep telling him what she does and how you feel because of it. You need to reduce contact to a bare minimum, and probably not at all during the deliveries. Unfortunately your dad has decided to be useless here. Let's hope that changes before baby arrives. You could give him one last shot. I realize it doesn't bother you, but it really bothers me when your mom treats me this way. I would really hate to have this permanently ruin my relationship with your mother. If you could talk to her it would be great. If not, I'll just have to tell her how I feel myself, though it may not come out so nice how shitty I'm feeling and all. Or, you gave him a chance, and he thinks you should just take one for the team, like being pregnant and miserable isn't doing that enough. So now it's up to you to say something. Say something every time she's shitty. Well, I'm so happy yours was all sunshine and rainbows. Mine isn't, and I don't appreciate being told how I should feel. I also don't appreciate being treated like a surrogate, especially with such an uncomfortable pregnancy. My baby is in here, points to belly, yours is over there, points to dot. And rinse and repeat. Nope. Yours is over there scratching his balls. No, yours is at work. She should pick up pretty fast that you don't like her claiming your child. If she's decent, she'll stop. If not, well then, you'll know exactly what kind of bitch you're dealing with. And then it's open season on not sparing her feelings. As someone else suggested, gray rock her, and if necessary, gray rock your husband too, while you're exhausted and puking. At some point he will need a come to Jesus meeting with you, where you let him know that he needs to step up, support you, and put you first, but get through the HG first. I'm thinking you will need to talk to him about your boundaries regarding information sharing and visiting. You need to talk about what works for you regarding visitors in the hospital and the home. You need to talk to your healthcare provider about vaccination for you, hubby, and any visitors after you've worked all that out. You need to communicate it politely but firmly to everyone, maybe a group text or social media post. If anyone starts to complain, or not comply, just tell them that it's not up for discussion and refer them to the group text / social media post. I also had HG and it is a beast, but you will get through it. You can take comfort that even the fanciest of people can have HG. Princess Kate, Kelly Clarkson, and Kim Kardashian all suffered with it. It doesn't matter what you do, it is just is. If someone had prenatal diabetes, would anyone think less of them? Fuck that noise. You are literally giving everything you've got to make sure your baby is healthy, and sometimes it's not beautiful. My mom had wonderful pregnancies. Glowing, happy, glorious pregnancies. So when I was super sick, she did what any compassionate person would do and researched any tea, candy, food, etc. that could help. Even my mill was sourcing info from her mom, who had what would probably be diagnosed as HG now. BTW avocados worked for her and for me, it's worth a try. I'm sorry she ruined one of the few surprises we have left in the world with her big mouth. Don't tell her the gender, obviously. You're doing great. The baby is going to be fine. She's a nightmare and I'm sorry. You will need to create distance to protect your territory, your experience of motherhood, and your parenting authority over your child. Try telling her less, no details, just general statements. You've gotten good advice on redirecting her questions about her baby towards her actual baby, your BF. And don't tell her anything you don't want everyone to know.